right, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Metal with Maddie. I am Matt Dawson. This is episode number 49 of Decrypting movies, and in today's episode, we're gonna talk about. Yes, my hand is in the right direction. Yeah, The Guilty. I watched it like maybe 3-4 months before, but then it's a very simple movie, and oh my god, I'm hearing my voice. Let me just. Yeah, so yeah, it's a pretty simple story. And as you can see in the description, you will see his face for 90 minutes straight. That's gonna happen for sure. So the whole movie, 1.5 hours, you're gonna see only Jake Gyllenhaal's face, and it's like happening in a call center 911, the emergency number in USA, and it's happening in Los Angeles. So he's like a LAPD, Los Angeles Police Department cop who got demoted to call service in 911, and then he's working in a night shift and he gets a call. So the inciting incident happens when he gets this call from a woman who says she's been kidnapped and she's been going in a truck. So this is how the story begins. So there is some backstory for the cop, our protagonist Jake Gyllenhaal, and over the course of the call, right, call duration. So everything is between the communication between Jake Gyllenhaal. His name is Joe Baylor in the movie. So between Joe and that lady who called her and claims that she's been kidnapped, and they identify, over the call, he kind of figures out that she's been kidnapped and is taken in a truck, and then somehow he's able to find the address, and then she's a wife and husband, their kids. So he gets all this information, and then he gets tries to get support from the cops, LAPD cops, go check her home and go check the husband's home, and a lot of things happen, but the call keeps going, and he's like he feels responsible for her, he attended the call and she's been kidnapped, so he wants to save this wife, the girl lady. And towards the end, there are like multiple twists. We come to know about the background story of Joe, right? So why he's demoted, and looks like there is a hearing coming up, and he actually killed a teenage boy who actually was responsible for taking away some of the lives in road. So that's the reason he's been demoted. So he's been charged of killing a teenage guy, but he had his own moral reasons, but then what he did was wrong, so that's why he's been suspended and demoted to 911 call service, and he's taking calls there, and then this particular calls comes on a night and he's like completely occupied with it. So this is the story. The story is good. If when you listen to the story, you kind of imagine that it's happening. We can see some truck scenes, or like the kids in the home, the wife's kids, and then husband is like the guilty, right? He's the one who's kidnapping and taking the wife in a truck. So this is how the story develops. So when you hear the story, you feel like you're gonna watch all these scenes, but that's not the case. If you go watch the movie, you'll be seeing only Jake Gyllenhaal's face all the way. So 90 minutes, just Jake's face, and it's so. Sometimes you might get tired, but then it's performance. So I think aspiring actors must watch this movie. So because he has given a compelling performance, you cannot engage and what do you say? Keep the audience at their, what do you say? Keep thrilling the audience throughout the movie when you are going to be the only person who's in the movie, right? So might get tired watching your face. So mostly it's like close-ups and like medium close-ups. So it's like very intense movie. But then the way he speaks, and through his face, he portrays the tension and his guilt. He killed a kid, but then there were reasons for it, but still it's a mistake, right? So killing a teenage guy just because he did some murders, on road, that's not the right way. And and he feels responsible for this wife, and but then in the end he finds out, there are like plot twist. So everything he has shown in the facial expressions and the way he's talking to people in the call, like he's calling up the LAPD cops and he's calling up his old friend. They don't listen to him. He asks, go check the husband's house but cops are saying that we do not have warrant, we cannot do that. We can go to the wife's home, check whether their kids are safe, but we cannot go to the husband's home and check his belongings or like that you need a warrant. So they are denied. So what he does is he calls up a friend and he asks for a favor, and the friend is also saying that okay, I'll do, but then he's also worried about his hearing. So these only through calls the whole story is established, and through Jake's face we kind of sympathize with him. So I felt it was a really compelling performance when you have one of our storyline that has to be played only by you. So yeah, I actually recommend this movie to aspiring actors because how the expressions and emotions have to be conveyed through your face, like eyebrows and then cheeks, nose, the way you breathe and the way you move your eyes, everything portrays the tension or any emotions, but in particular. So it's like, yeah, you're gonna be bored if you do not if you're not like entertaining movie, but if you like suspense thriller, then the background music is too good, so it keeps you engaged along with Jake's performance, the acting performance. I mean, narrative, it could have been in a different way. So now and then, maybe for 20 minutes in between the scenes, they show what's happening actually in the road or in the highways, but then everything else it's happening in this room. So we see the 911 room. I do not know that's how it will actually look in reality, but it's like first time I saw something like that, triple dial 911 call. There's one other movie, the call, I guess, where there's a female protagonist and same thing, like she attends a call and somebody's being kidnapped. But then in that movie it had more scenes on the road, but here it's like almost 90% we see only what's happening in the control room with Jake taking the call. So yeah, it's definitely a very good movie to watch of I mean, for the actors, aspiring actors. And yeah, and if you are low budget, it's like a base budget. I don't think how maybe in Indian rupees I would say it would have not even been like 10-15 lakhs. It would have been lesser than that. It happens, whole movie happens in a inside a room and then control room and then a couple of scenes in the road, and that's all. So production value is very less, and with that they have gone only with compelling performance and then BGM and the shot divisions, camera work is kind of has to be somewhat what do you say, different and unique, because it's happening inside the room. And now 1 hour 90 minutes, I mean 1 hour 30 minutes, right? Totally 90 minutes you have to be you're taking the audience inside a room, and you're not making them watch any other space. So it's like you might feel claustrophobic, but then that's how the movie is portrayed. So I would recommend, if you're a thriller or suspense fan, you would enjoy it. And I am a huge fan of Jake Gyllenhaal because most of his movies are like suspense thrillers, and almost all his movies are too good. Like Enemy, and then Dark Rabbit. I think when he was in his teenage, like that was a good movie. And he's acted in a lot of suspense thrillers, so I love him. Like, I am a thriller freak, so I enjoy watching his movies. And this is a good thriller movie. This was one of the movies with which I started the Hollywood Club, where I kind of put up shows and like ask people to sign up and book tickets. So I think this was one of the first movies that I watched in the home theater. So it was really good, and I enjoyed it. BGM, performance, and it could have been better. Like, they could have planned it better. The backstory was not established correctly for the cop, the Joe cop. So we do not know what exactly happened. So it's everything established through the call. So you have to really imagine, okay, what he must have done. Apart from that, I think maybe they could have had more scenes on the road or outside rather than in the control room. But then you have a compelling performance and a good background music to build up the tension. So it's a pretty good decent watch. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this movie, and let's catch up with more movies. We are at episode number 49, so that means next episode is going to be 50 episodes. I'm going to plan something special, and it may take time. I always wanted to bring my friends and talk it over a call or something. We have done that one episode, I guess, and let's do it for the 50th episode. Let's try to make it big, And yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this episode. If you want me to talk about any other movie, you let me know in the comments. I'm always here to watch more movies. Yep, and thank you. You're watching Maddie's Maddie. Who's that Maddie? I'm that Maddie. Bye bye.